our unsustainable production in the consumption and production are the main underlying reason for making our Earth, Mother Earth, at risk. Therefore, in response, as recent traditional water resource management, which is based upon only mechanical approach, cannot, it's not enough, cannot bring about sustainability. Now, nature itself, now, as I mentioned earlier, in my first slide, now people has to live with nature, in harmony with nature. That's why nature-based solution now emerged to work with nature other than against it, because we cannot live without the ecosystem services that nature provides us. And this ecological nature-based solution is an integrative science that focuses on the interaction between hydrology and biota. The interaction, the interplay between hydrology and biota was established evolutionarily, but it had been ignored. Hydrologists had been focusing on only hydrology, and ecologists or biologists was focusing on biota. But we cannot manage one from separating from the other. Both has interaction. Therefore, this ecohydrology uses the ecosystem properties or the interplay between this hydrology and biota to restore, rehabilitate, protect, also to increase enhancement, carrying capacity of ecosystems at river basin scale. And it focuses on 4 elements: water, biodiversity, ecosystem services, and resilience. And it has this holistic approach helps IWRM to be realized. And also it provides basic knowledge and applied tools for achievement of SDG 2, SDG 6, and also other water-related SDG goals. Okay, and in line with this, Ethiopia introduced ecohydrology from European Regional Center for Ecohydrology, located in Poland, and we started implementing this to test it at Lake Tana, because Lake Tana is the largest freshwater in Ethiopia, also a source of Blue Nile. Therefore, to protect it, help benefit not only the country but also the Nile, the riparian countries. And the Nile, these are problems that the Lake Tana is facing, and the bottom right corner is now water hyacinths, while it is being removed by campaign, but it's not the last solution. It's not the sustainable solution. And the most important, the root causes that unsustainable human activities like improper agriculture, urbanization, and so on degrade water and nutrient cycle in the landscape, also around the lake, disturb energy flow, that is food chain, and also they pollution from agriculture, from urban, and so on. Lake Tana is facing this one. But as you can see, every river basin has ecosystems, right? Starting from headwater, mountain, river, riparian vegetation, floodplain, wetland, and yes, rivers there, and also shoreline, and the biodiversity there. And all these ecosystems, naturally, they have intrinsic property of stabilizing water cycle, nutrient cycle, and also energy flow. And they are providing so many ecosystem services for us for sustaining human. And now my focus is only on shoreline. I will take to you there. Problem is encroachment of Lake Tana shoreline ecosystem dominated by papyrus, resulting from recession farm. This contributed for proliferation and expansion of water hyacinths. Measure taken, ecological nature-based solution was integrated with circular agriculture at Lake Tana shore, which is for the 2 main objectives: rehabilitation of not only rehabilitation of shoreline vegetation papyrus, but enhancement of societal livelihood, and also by replacement of recession farm, which is linear farm that pollute the lake, by circular agriculture, closing the loop. These are the sites, and after implementation, we tried to conduct research to know its effectiveness, and it was compared with other two shorelines. One just nearby, adjacent to it, which is completely degraded without any papyrus, which is human dominated, free grazing up to the edge of the lake, and the other one is the one which the lake, the other shoreline is the one which is dominated by water hyacinths. Now we compare the intervention area with totally degraded, and also with totally covered by papyrus. And as you can see, before intervention, to the left of that, my slide is before intervention. Lake Tana was completely, recession farmers there. Totally no papyrus. You can see the lake. And also here, the recession farm, upward towards landward. And you can see at the bottom, papyrus is completely destroyed, free. It's open, and everything is coming from upstream, is joining the lake without any treatment. After the right side is after the implementation. Look how the papyrus has been rehabilitated. Next to papyrus is wasteland, which is covered by Echinoccolia species of, which is fodder, very special fodder for the cattle. And then next to the cattle, this wetland, we constructed for them aquaculture, which is compatible with the lake. This is our intervention. And now after intervention, you can see here, you can see from completely restored papyrus. This one is WR, is rehabilitated wetland, which is conical meadow. They are using it as a cut and decay, because before the intervention, they were practicing free grazing, destroying the lake shoreline. And also the bottom one, look how they now are enjoying several benefits from this integrated intervention with circular agriculture, cabbage, very, very, very nice cabbage with potato and so on. The right side, you can see the one which cutting the grass, the Echinoccolia species, and carrying to the house. This one, you can see from it, the left side is free grazing. They used to practice that free grazing. Now they transform it into zero grazing, cut and decay. Now they are they're enjoying with milk. And now the cattle, what we did, the cattle's wastes, we transformed it into biogas. And now you can see that they are using for lighting, cooking, and so on. Again, the biogas sludge is using to as a fertilizer for horticulture, because that horticulture, the fish pond is fed by horticulture. And now the biogas sludge is converted to compost and is being used as a fertilizing the horticulture, mango, and so on, and whereby the fish can obtain feed, you can see. And by again from fish pond, from the wastewater from fish pond is emptied. It has two purposes. One, it empties to the Echinoccolia grass wetland, because Echinoccolia has a huge potential to uptake it and to transform it to biomass, and that being cut and again to be fed, to be used as a feeding source for the cattle. And the other use is they pump out, and they started small irrigation. as you can see there, as you saw there, in the previous slide, they are producing cabbage, tomato, several pepper, and so on, so on. And no waste is thrown. The waste is recycled, everything. That's why we said this is circular agriculture, because the recession farms, they used to, the recession farm is linear. They use fertilizer and so on. The fertilizer, they were washing just and emptying, joining the lake, and making it, making favorable condition for invasive species, polluting also the water. Now everything is clogged. This shows you how to the left is linear agriculture, the right one is circular. Now we change it to this circular, and everything is the waste from one intervention can be used as an input to the other. This is how we used there. We implemented, we integrated ecohydrology, rehabilitation of papyrus, wetlands, so on, with circular agriculture. And what we did is we collected data because the data focuses on water, biodiversity, ecosystem services, and ecosystem services in terms of social economy, and also resilience against climate change and so on. Every scientific methodologies have been employed in every data collection, analysis, and so on. I can jump. These are the results for physiochemical in open water. This GT means the intervention area. This GM is adjacent area with highly degraded and open, without any papyrus, and is highly human-dominated shoreline. Is already converted into land. And the other one, this one is the one which is covered by water hyacinths. And these physiochemical parameters, we can see clear differences. This is macrophytes, relative abundance, frequency, density, and so on. Because macrophytes, it diversified, dense, structurally different, different, diverse macrophytes will have resilient against climate change, against any external input and so on. Therefore, we conducted their abundance and so on. This is how we evenness and diversity index. Also, it shows that this one is the intervention area 1.2 H index is higher. Higher means diversified. It is more diverse than the other two. This is a macroinvertebrate again, and in all three sites. And this is also again index 2.39 is higher than the other 1.9, and so on. Is the implemented or the intervention site has more or diverse species diversity, which is important. This is major planktons, phytoplanktons also. These are also very important. As I mentioned earlier, energy flow is very important in aquatic, especially in aquatic ecosystem, because through predation, water quality will be maintained. If water quality is maintained, biodiversity surrounding the lake, all vegetation will be resilient against any invasive species. Also fish and so on will be healthy. That means eventually the people using any ecosystem from the lake will be healthy. This is again the zooplankton, also very important, because these are aquatic biodiversity are very important in everything from decomposition up to making the water and the aquatic biota healthy. Okay, this is the last one. the most important is the ecosystem services obtained as a result of intervention. You can see this one, this the GT. No. Okay. The sample sites, if you can see the sample sites, GT means the intervention area, GM the area besides intervention. What? Pardon? You can't hear me?
You can just proceed. I think no. Proceed. This. I think there's someone who had unmuted their microphone.
Okay. Now the left column shows you livelihood products: fish, grass, fruit, vegetables, papyrus, milk, biogas, fattening, compost, and so on. And obtained, the product obtained, you can see from the next column. The third column comprises three sub-columns. GT, the first one is intervention area. You can see the next one, if you can see, it has very less livelihood products. The last one, which is invaded by water, the shoreline, which is invaded by water hyacinth, which is AK, represented by AK. If you can see, most of the products 0, they don't obtain, they are not benefiting from anything because it's already out of the ecosystem services have been, degraded totally. And now the people who own the intervention site are, benefiting from several products. Their livelihood alternatives are now diversifying progressively day to day. And really, it has become, that site has become not only national site, it's also African site. Also, it is I presented this one in international, in everywhere, Europe, China, and so on. And it is now it's going to be one of best practices globally, and it will be included in the list of ecology demo sites globally. Results, the abundance of biodiversity is very clear. You heard that one. Water quality also improved. And the other one, socio-economic ecosystem services improved by far. And also now every shoreline vegetation or buffer zone or restored or healthy littoral wetlands vegetations, riparian vegetations, they are these days very important for climate change, to mitigate or to keep the water, in several ways. One of them is they can use as chemical barrier against biogenic substance of various origin from upstream. They trap it, decompose, breakdown by biomass, and then will be changed to soluble, then uptake and transform into biomass again, can be used by
Mr. Yohannes, I think.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, your network is breaking. It's not so steady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a problem. We have such problem.
Okay.
Now
It
it's
looks
okay.
steady now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now finally,
Yes.
we came to know now this intervention addressed water, biodiversity, ecosystem service, and resilience. Therefore, also triple planetary crisis, pollution, biodiversity loss, and climate change can be addressed by such kind of intervention. We have also other demo sites. One of which is look, the first one is wet coffee processing industry effluent. We are producing coffee, but the coffee processing industries, they release the effluent. Their effluents are very toxic to receiving surface and groundwater. Therefore, we developed this one, and it can be transferred next time. I don't know when. Just the second one is also municipal organic waste is also another problem. We integrated this urban, so domestic waste with urban agriculture. We have also here in Jimma, and the other one also the other important is at the river basin upstream. There are hill slope landscape. There are hill slope mountain hill slopes are usually degraded if vegetations are cut. Therefore, this is a very serious problem as we are mountainous, and we also developed very successful demo site as you can see there. Then results. Yeah. Recommendation. Yeah, no, this one. Let me skip to this. My conclusion is ecological nature-based solution can address water both in terms of too much three water-related issues. Too much means flood, scarcity, pollution, and also invasive species water access, biodiversity, custom services, resilience against climate change. Therefore, this we recommend this Zanzalma, this site, this kind of best practices need to be replicated surrounding the lake to make it safe, to save it from dying. And also other very important eco-hydrological nature-based solution is being also implemented successful at river basin scale in Ethiopia. And we would like to call upon any African country, NGOs, African Union, so to tackle the three planetary crises, pollution, biodiversity loss, in collaboration with us. Thank you very much. I acknowledge all these institutions, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if you heard
Johannes, don't doubt yourself. Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. I hope, guys, you've learned something out of it. And it is out of Johannes's research that Demise, his
Demis.
name is Demis. Sorry, his name is Demis. Demis, I'm really sorry for massacring your name. It is based on Johannes's research that Demis worked on his story. So Demis, are you still with us? Feel free to share your screen. Johannes, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
Demis, you can share your screen and carry it on from there. Thank you so much, Johannes. We'd like you to stay on the call until the end as you're doing the trivia question so you can help us identify the winners as well. I hope you don't mind. Thank you. Demis? Okay. Hello, Demis, are you speaking? We can't hear you.
Oh, he's muted.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
unmute
yeah.
myself.
Okay, you can carry on.
Okay, so thank you very much, Delhi. Before I directly proceed to my presentation, I would like to express my heartfelt sorrow about the sudden days of one of our fellows from the first cohort, Dennis Morris. Was a very shocking news. So having said that, let me proceed directly to my presentation. Johannes has said a lot about our co-production story. Of course, he mentioned some scientific and technical terms as well. Mine is a little bit simple and focusing on the story part. So our team was this a co-production story we said earlier. So Mr. Johannes and me did the story. I don't have to do the introduction part again. So let me give you a very general overview why Lake Tana and the Nile are important. Of course, it's obvious. Lake Tana is the largest lake in Ethiopia and the source of a Blue Nile. And of course, Lake Tana is the source of 60% of the water in the Nile, and the rest is, of course, contributed from Ethiopia, but not from the Nile source. So it's important for the local community and to the international community as well. It also supports biodiversity, local livelihoods, and regional economies. And it provides water, as I said before, to over 200 million people across Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. These are some of the pictures that can show how Tana is contributing to the local people. It is a source of transportation, and it's also a source of fish for the local community. Johannes, of course, mentioned the challenge. In our story, we tried to cover um, some of the challenges like invasive species, environmental degradation, human impact, and climate change, which are currently affecting Lake Tana. And this picture, I think, shows how the invasive water hyacinth is covering most part of Tana and how people are struggling, local communities are struggling to avoid this highly invading aquatic plant. But the effort was not really productive. Since 2012, another research shows that more than 700,000 people participated in avoiding this water hyacinth, but unfortunately, it invaded most part of the lake, and presently, the result is really less. It means we are at risk, and we are on the brink of losing Tana, which is a source of Nile, unless we tried to introduce a new way of addressing the challenge. So that's why the papyrus and the circular agriculture, the papyrus and the circular agriculture solutions are on the table by researchers like Yohannes. So this map, I think, can give you the very general kind of view how the water hyacinth is covering Tana. The red line is showing the area that is presently covered by water hyacinth. It's like 128 kilometer covering the shorelines of Tana. One third of the lake is presently covered with this quite evading aquatic plant. And the blue line shows the papyrus wetlands, which are, of course, which has declined over the last 35 years, as the data here shows. It declined from 152 kilometers square to 64 kilometers square in the last 35 years, from 1985 to 2020. So the declining rate is really alarming. Unless an action is to be taken, the invading water hyacinth will definitely get a very fast expansion and will cover most part of the lake. So the papyrus project has to be really given focus in order to address these challenges. And another challenge, of course, Johannes mentioned about it, the agricultural runoff affecting Tana. You see, Tana, Johannes was like presenting different layers before the lake. Uh, but here you see there are agricultural fields right away the lake. So the agricultural runoffs can easily access into the lake so that the general ecosystem gets disturbed. That's what we witness in the research as well. Um, uh, you see in some part of the lake, the recessional agriculture is being practiced. Whenever the water from the lake retreats in the dry season, farmers practice recessional agriculture in the wetlands of the lake so that the agricultural runoffs get into the lake water, disturbing the entire ecosystem of the lake. This is what we actually witness presently around Lake Tana. So all these problems demand scientific research, and it was tested in pilot projects, of course. Johannes introduced the circular agriculture that integrates papyrus with fish ponds and small-scale farming. In a pilot project area, it was proven to be successful. So universities like Bahar Dar University, which are adjacent to the Lake Tana, have been replicating this experience around the lake, and they are trying to work with the local community for better result. And I can say it's becoming really productive. So papyrus is, as the picture shows, is an aquatic plant like this. It was known to be first used in Egypt. And now we have this plant in Ethiopian lakes as well. This plant has several benefits in terms of filtering sediments and other debris to before they access into water bodies. So this is an important plant that has to be really cultivated around Lake Tana and other water bodies as well to prevent agricultural runoffs and other pollutants before they access into water bodies. So hardening papyrus is really, it acts as a bioremediator and stabilizes shorelines and improving water quality. It also competes with water hyacinths, reducing its spread. Basically, water hyacinths use some organic, materials that can be accessed in the water bodies. So if there is the papyrus plant, it can compete with the water hyacinths, so that the probability of the propagation probability of the water hyacinths can be significantly reduced. And the pilot project areas definitely show that when papyrus is really cultivated, the water hyacinths cannot be propagated. So that is a proven experience. This all shows how the papyrus plants are cultivated along the shores of Lake Tana and how they are contributing to reducing the water hyacinths in areas where they are really available. So to make it more practical and really productive, the engagement from the local community is really important. Presently, in collaboration with Yohannes Research and other international donor organizations, local residents around Lake Tana and Bahardar University are trying to create awareness in the local community to shift them into papyrus cultivation from vegetable cultivation around Lake Tana. So that will generate them income, and it will be a sustainable solution for the local community. So the local community can get benefits by selling the papyrus leaves for decorations, and there are some artifacts that the local communities can do with the papyrus stem. So all those things are encouraged by Bahardar University and other donor organizations to maintain sustainability of the papyrus cultivation around the Lake Tana rather than vegetable cultivation in the area. These are the slender papyrus leaves that are ready for sale by local communities. So they are getting benefits. Of course, you cultivate papyrus and then you cut it for sale. Seems contradictory, but there is a stage that the papyrus stem has to be cut and presented to the market. Before it reaches to that stage, farmers are not allowed to do so. So it's a very scientific kind of approach, not uh, without plan and preparation. So you can basically take like that. So let's see the challenges and the global implications. There is, of course, lack of coordination among the stakeholders. We see some international institutions, local universities have a very fragmented kind of approach. So bringing coordination among all stakeholders is, I think, very important to expand the papyrus cultivation and the circular agriculture project totally. That's important part. And the other important part is Lake Tana's health is vital for the entire basin, affecting food security and water resource. So all countries that can be benefited from this project, particularly Sudan and Egypt, have to contribute towards the success of this project. As we said earlier, Tana is 60% of the source of the Nile that flows downward to Sudan and Egypt. And of course, Tana has a biosphere reserve around it that was recognized by UNESCO, the United Nations Education and Scientific and Cultural Organization. That biosphere reserve is important because it has to do a lot with the wetlands of Tana, and working in that area is also important. Of course, UNESCO's recognition implies that the area has a very, key global importance. So finally, the kind of call as a journalist I wanted to forward is, of course, we journalists have the responsibility to amplify such kind of best practices, to amplify such kind of stories that can contribute to the betterment of our environment. These are, of course, scientific approaches, so we need to amplify such kind of stories to bring solutions to environmental challenges. And to the scientists, and of course, I really appreciate the idea of Nile Wall, bringing scientists and journalists together to address this really critical topic of environmental journalism. So scientists have to work in collaboration with journalists to make their researches accessible. I can feel that there are a lot of researches which are on the shelf, which we have to report and bring them into attention. So scientists have to work with that. But to everyone, we need to advocate for sustainable practices supporting conservation efforts, because we are sharing the same planet, irrespective of political boundaries, irrespective of our professions. Our environment is shared with all of us, so the responsibility is also within all of us. So everybody has to advocate such kind of sustainable practices and best practices as well. So I want to conclude my short presentation with a word from one of the Bahar Dar University professor. A Lake Tana without papyrus is like a person without a kidney. This is the way how university professors are explaining the importance of papyrus for lakes' health, be it Tana or other water bodies. Papyrus is really a kidney that filters the pollutants coming from different aspects. So the project with Tana that centers on papyrus is really important, not for only Ethiopia, but to downstream countries and to generally Africa and to the international community as well. So we all have to work on that. That's my final message, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Demis. We'll go forward to our question and answer session. Demis, you've done a really good job in simplifying the research bit and how you were able to do your story. Maybe just to ask, since this story was done mid last year, if I'm not wrong, are there any specific changes or notable changes in this place with regards to the conservation initiative using papyrus? Demis?
Okay. Yes, there is a very practical kind of change in the pilot project area, but the problem is it cannot be expanded to other adjacent areas. There are 11 districts surrounding Lake Tana, and presently the pilot project only covers one district, that is the Bahar Dar district, which is very adjacent to the lake. But other areas are still not covered. So expanding this productive pilot project implementation to other areas is, I think, important. But in the project area, yes, it is really productive, and local communities, say they have benefited from it a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. I can see there's a question in the chat box. I'm going to read it, but anyone who would like to ask a question directly and you feel like you'd want to say it yourself, feel free to use the raise hand emoji. We'll be doing this session in the next 5 minutes and close it and move it to the next. So my question goes to Dr. Yohannes. What would be some of the policy recommendations that you have for other conservation initiatives, either in Ethiopia or all around the Nile basin that are based at the shorelines. Do you have any policy recommendations?
Yeah, yeah. For example, in Ethiopia, the water policy, which was issued 20 years ago, now it's under it's being updated now, and now it is being substantiated by such kind of eco-hydrological nature-based solution. Uh, this is the first one. The second one, very important move is now, and we are now, everything is conducive now because our government gives great attention to this kind of green legacy, and so on, so on. Corridor, river corridor development, clean Ethiopia, and so on, so on. Now, I was instrumental in preparing Ethiopian buffer zone policy, buffer zone proclamation, buffer riparian buffer zone, including comprising every water body ecosystems, rivers, starting from the river order one from the spring, floodplain, wetland, groundwater, springs, lakes, reservoir. Now, recently, it has been approved by Minister of Councils, and then now the Parliament now being reviewed by Parliament. I hope it will be endorsed very soon. There is really huge breakthrough, really breakthrough, and it's very huge success for us. The second one is, as I had been heading the African Regional Center for Ecohydrology, we had, still we have relation with other, for example, in Nigeria, Tanzania, in some other places. Still we have also, therefore we are sharing such kind of success, and through, yeah, we advise policymakers and so on. And we're on the right track, and really we achieved a lot in this issue. The problem is, as Demis mentioned, we used, we promoted this equality, utilizing workshop, international, national, also through media, Ethiopian media, uh, and there is no, collaboration from from especially, for example, from uh, Africa Union. There are departments there dealing with, Africa Water Vision, Africa's 2063, and so climate change issue. And but here, Africa Center Ecology, African Center of Ecology is working alone again. But I don't know, such kind of missing integration is a challenge for us, and that's why I try to call upon, this collaboration, so that we can make a difference not only in Ethiopia, in Africa also, then globally. We have great relation in other countries, Europe, Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, China, and so on. But in Africa, only with Nigeria and Tanzania. And we are successful now, Ethiopia. We are incorporating it, mainstreaming it in policy. Also, eco-hydrology department have been institutionalized in the Ministry of Water and Energy. This is also a great success now. That's why we have.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to give loose-legged Bebe a chance, and then I'll read Lino Atuvura's question, and then Christopher Bendana and Alem. So please keep your hands up so that I don't lose the sequence, but loose-legged, you can go ahead. Abebe, are you with us? Kindly unmute. I'll move to Christopher. Christopher, please ask your question.
I thank the professor very much and Demise. My question to the professor is, what happened to the water hyphen on the lake? When you started planting the papyrus on the shores of the lake, where did you take the water hyphen that you picked from the lake?
Answer?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. Recently, we observed, in fact, not through the people, the owner informed us very recently. I tried to get photo, but I couldn't. The water hyacinth invaded the area very seriously, and you know what they observed? The restored papyrus. That restored papyrus couldn't make. It halted the papyrus, and it couldn't make any favorable condition for proliferation and so on. But the other one, the adjacent ecosystem, the adjacent littoral zone, which is highly human dominated, have been now completely inundated by water hyacinths. This is very nice, very good, observation. Now we heard these days, and we can have its photo and video very near future, very soon. We can share with you, and we observe this kind of results.
Okay. Bendana, are you satisfied? Are you contented with the answer? You have a follow-up question?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I get him.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to read Lino Atuvura's question. Hello, Demis. I'm Lina from South Sudan. My question is, how did you overcome the challenges you talked about between the authority? And then my second question, how can you collaborate with journalists in South Sudan, more especially on wildlife conservation? So those are two questions on the chat box. You can use it for reference as you're answering, Demis.
Okay, thank you very much, Delhi. If I properly understand the first question, challenges you talked about between the authority, if it means like how I did this story, uh, um, uh, since Mr. Yohannes is from Ministry of Water and Energy, uh, and certainly we don't face any challenges from the authority. Because the government has already paid emphasis to this issue, as it is one of the prime challenge for our water bodies, not only for Lake Tana, but in other water bodies as well. So the collaboration from the government part was really good, and Johannes is one of the persons from the government office from Ministry of Water and Energy, and he also works, of course, in other areas as well. So universities like Bahardar University also works on this area, and they are quite helpful. And other, international NGOs like UNESCO also working on this area, also helpful. So we never faced challenges from authority side, if the question is really to me like that. So how can we collaborate with journalists, especially in South Sudan, more especially on wildlife conservations? I think we need to have like institutions like Info Nile that can bring together journalists on various fronts topics. So one way of collaboration is becoming a member of Info Nile and working across multiple topics on environmental journalism. So there are other networks as well, like maybe Earth Journalism Network. We can be members with in this kind of networks as well. And we can also personally help each other, exchange contact details and help each other to collaborate on potential stories as well. So there can be different modalities of cooperation. If there is a will, there is a way. So no problem with that, I think.
Okay, thank you so much, Demis. And I'm glad you have mentioned that you can collaborate using the Nile platform. I'm just posting the link right now. Feel free to create an account there. You're going to meet several other journalists and scientists that work in water and the environment, and you can easily collaborate with anyone within the Nile basin. And usually we post opportunities there. For example, this one for the co-production program. It was a Nile co-production program, and we post it there. You apply. If you qualify, then you're brought forward for training and mentorship to develop your communication outputs. So now I'm going to give the chance to Alem Gabriel. Alem?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the informative presentation on papyrus and the problem of water hyacinth here. And we heard much about the problem of water hyacinth in invading species around Lake Tana, but to honestly tell the truth, it's first time to hear about the importance of papyrus to combat water hyacinth. I don't claim to really follow every study or presentation on Nile. The person was, as a person really following about Nile issue, in Lake Tana, I was surprised it was not elevated to disseminate the information about the importance of water rights. And I think there is much to do on that respect, and your presentation really is very important in disseminating that information. I want to thank you for that one. And my question is, you said it's used only in one district out of 9 or 11, something like that, in terms of demonstration, even pilot project. And that doesn't seem a very impressive record. Is there any reason why it couldn't really used to other districts surrounding Lake Tana, especially since the problem of water hyacinth has been really elevated to a national scale and being talked about in national media? So what are the challenges of really disseminating that information to the other districts so that farmers living in that district also be participant into the problem of combating water hyacinth by using your research results? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. I think this question is directed to Mr. Yohannes.
Okay, thank you for the questions. Two questions. Yes, I didn't mention the importance of hyacinths, but I think the scope of my presentation is just for the sake of time. I focused only on the result of democide. But we are also, we recently, not recently, we prepared concept notes. First of all, we have a strategy, national strategy, developed by consortium of different institutions, one of which is Bahar Dar University and Ministry of Environment, Agriculture, and so on. The strategy was have been distributed throughout the regional governments and ministerial, federal ministries, also to prime minister also. There are 12 strategies. One of it is control by utilization, converting it to other useful things, to useful products. There are several basic successful stories throughout the world, and we prepared that concept note, and we tried to find funding and so on, but we couldn't manage due to so on. So, but we have in hand that kind of concept note. The second one is, as Demis said, I'm working in the Ministry of Water and Energy. Each institution's organization has its own duties and responsibilities. The ministries, as it is a regulatory body, the ministry said he brought in Ecohydrologist eyes And he promoted throughout the country by organizing workshops, seminars, and so on, even by demonstrating international success stories, not only national. Then the second strategy is developing demo sites. Then after, it is up to the region, up to the nearby region and the nearby institutions, which responsible institutions. For example, in the region there are water bureaus, environmental bureaus. Therefore, translate, to replicate this one is their duty, because it is the ministry's duty is up to this one. And as I showed you, we developed several demo sites addressing industrial effluent, agricultural landscape, and some other places also. We have several demo sites. Then after that, the responsible authority bureau has to replicate that one. This is my answer.
Okay, thank you so much. Gabriel, are you satisfied with the answer you have, or you'd like to respond?
No, I'm satisfied with the answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. In the interest of time, we have less than 14 minutes to finish. We are going to move to the next segment of this session, which is the trivia questions. And just to let you know that we expect you to type your answers on the chat box, the fastest and the most correct answer, or rather the correct answer that is typed in the first one, is the one who wins that question. At the end of the session, whoever will have won, or rather gotten most questions, if not all, we will send you a small token of appreciation after this. So, Andrew, are you with us?
Yes, sure. I am. Yes, hello everyone. So to just save on my bandwidth, I will not put on my video, but I hope you can hear me clearly. So just like how Delhi has, presented this session, here we are going to have 5 questions. You type your answer in the chat. The first person to type the right answer is the person that we shall, give the points to. And of course, Delhi will be telling us what is there for us if at all we win. And the first question is, which 4 key aspects does ecohydrology aim to reinforce in modified landscapes? So among the answers we have, I was going to give you the answers, sorry. So which 4 key aspects does ecohydrology aim to reinforce in modified landscapes? Okay, so basically what is this ecohydrology aiming to, modify or, try to bring at par with each and every ecosystem that is in place? So please type your answers. I believe Yohannes has been so audible, and also our brother Demis.
I actually mentioned it during the presentation. First answer carries the day. First person to get it correct.
Okay, we have Caroline. Caroline is all the way from Nairobi. Thank you so much, Caroline. We appreciate. And so second question goes, which is...
Is she correct? Water, biodiversity,
she is,
ecosystem
yes, she
services,
is. She is.
She is
She
correct.
is 100% correct, yeah. It's as if she was, looking at the answer even the way she... Of course, she's missing there the aspect of water, because, this is
She
also...
has mentioned it.
Yes. Okay. All
So
right.
someone
So we
says
can
it's
go
not
to number 2.
correct. Just a minute. Someone says it's not correct.
Who says it's not correct? Who wants to set their own
Biodiversity?
exams?
No, it's actually correct. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it's correct.
Okay. Is it from going to set their
Caroline
own
carries.
exams?
Yeah, she's setting her own exam.
All right. Question
Next.
number 2 is, which global sustainable goal is directly supported by ecohydrology? Which global sustainable goal is directly supported by hydrology? I know Prim knows the answer of this, sure. Prim has been
Caroline has
studying.
already typed in the answer and she's right.
Caroline, thank you so much. The aerobic power is
So
too much.
Caroline too.
Joseph, you've come in late, but yeah, let's see how you can do on number 3. Question number 3 is, so friends, we have seen the answer is SDG 6. SDG 6 is the one that addresses water and sanitation, clean water and sanitation. So question number 3 is, what is the key feature on Yohannes Zerihun circular agriculture approach? What is the key feature of Yohannes Zerihun circular agriculture approach? So we have 4 options. And of course, one is integrating papyrus with fish ponds and small-scale farming. That's the first one. Option B is using only traditional farming techniques. Option number 3 is relying solely on chemical fertilizers. And of course, the last option is draining wetlands for agriculture. So from those 4 options, give me which one is correct. Remember, A was integrating papyrus with fish ponds and small-scale farming. Then B is using only traditional farming techniques. C is relying solely on chemical fertilizers. And D is draining wetlands for agriculture. Who has the answer? So we have Caroline again coming in with A. This guy is brilliant.
She also mentioned papyrus in the first answer.
Yes. Yeah, so Caroline, I think, takes it. And the answer is, of course, A, which is integrating papyrus with fish ponds and small-scale farming. We will go to question number 4, which is also one of options. So we will have 4 options to pick from. So make sure you listen so carefully so that you get the right one. And number 4 is, which of the following is not a way papyrus contributes to the environment? Which of the following is not a way papyrus contributes to the environment? Of course, A is stabilizing shorelines and improving water quality. B is competing with invasive water hyacinths to reduce its speed. C is restoring biodiversity and supporting livelihoods. And D is depleting aquatic habitats. Remember, A is stabilizing shorelines and improving water quality. B is competing with invasive water hyacinth to reduce its speed. C is restoring biodiversity and supporting livelihoods. And D is depleting aquatic habitats. Which of those is the right? We
Caroline
have
has
someone.
gotten it right.
Okay, Caroline first stumbled a bit, but of course, then after that, she got it. Thank you so much. It is depleting, of course, aquatic habitats. And we will go to our last question for today. And as you can see, Caroline is leading, but at least, guys, don't make the lead so big. Someone should come in.
Yeah, too obvious.
Let us not let Kenya beat us this bad. At least, Uncle Christopher, please. Showing some Kampala power. So number 5 is, in which country was coffee first discovered? This one was not part of the presentation, so don't look at the presentation. You had to read ahead. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Caroline, yeah, Tom, no, he is the winner for today, getting each and every question right. I don't know whether she has that. And Caroline, we are sending an investigator to see whether you are either Googling or, you know. But thank you so much. Yeah, but thank you so much. This has been impressive. Over to you, Delicate. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. And thank you so much, Caroline. You made it Wow, you've just started the year on a high note. I hope you keep winning throughout the year. And to the rest of us, I encourage you to keep engaging, participating, and most importantly, staying active and concentrating through the session so you can at least get something small at the end of it. Caroline, I think this is her third time winning. Keep it up, Caroline. We shall also look for a way to be awarding the one who has won several times. We find a way to award you either through our mentorship programs, our training sessions, or our workshops. This is not confirmed. We will confirm once this discussion is finalized. Otherwise, I'd like to end it here. Thank you so much, Demis and Yohannes, for making time to be with us today. Congratulations too on completing your fellowship and leading us on this insightful session. To the rest of us, ladies and gentlemen, we at InfoNile are very grateful to have your presence and encourage you to keep joining us for the next session. We appreciate you taking time to be with us. Make a point of inviting your colleagues in the upcoming session. Our next session will be on 26th of October. We'll be hosting National Geographic and NEWF, that is Nature, Environment, Water, Filming. We'll be talking about oceans and wildlife conservation, etc., etc. I know some of you have joined us for the previous sessions, so we encourage you to join us even in the future sessions. Caroline, you have my number. Please share with me your payment details so I can share it with finance and your payment will be processed. To the rest of us, you can access this session, the presentations, and the live recording using the link I've just shared on the chat box. I hope to have all of you and many more in the next sessions. Thank you very much. Have a blessed evening and a happy 2025. Bye.
Thank you. I have give me 1 minute.
Okay.
The answer, which SDG goals can be addressed by in ecohydrology, not only is mainly majorly SCD6, but there are several issues: marine issues, biodiversity, hunger, climate change. You can browse from internet. The indirectly or directly, SCDGs are connected with water. Therefore, you can browse not only SCDG but others. Mainly SCDG, yes, water supply and sanitation and so on. But there is a marine, so on, so on. There is marine coastal ecohydrology is there. So therefore, you can browse. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Demis, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
We already have much, so I don't have anything to add. Thank you very much for all of you for joining us and trying to hear us what we have to say. So it's a really a good opportunity for us to reflect what we have been doing the last 1 year and beyond. So it's an exciting moment for me. I will keep on working with InfoNile in the coming times as well. So thank you very much once again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I wish you all a wonderful evening. Have a good one. Bye.